Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go, this is Valley News Live at 5.
More than 300 COVID-19 tests were mishandled after a mass testing event at Rowe Farm last Friday. The North Dakota Department of Health confirmed the news this afternoon. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter, Bailey Hurley, talked with one of the women tested who says she's disappointed.
Melissa Fry says she was one of the 349 tested at Rowe Farm last Friday, but says the Department of Health was radio silent through the holiday weekend, saying when she finally got a call late Tuesday morning, it wasn't the news she thought she received.
They said, with an apology, let me know that my test was with the group that was mishandled, and they advised me to get retested.
The Department of Health says the samples were put in a different refrigerator than normal, and as a result, the samples went undetected past the time when they could be tested.
My concern is how many of them were healthcare workers or people taking care of elderly that went and got a test and didn't get results.
Fry says she worries some who were tested at the event might have thought their no news was good news and could have traveled or gathered with large groups over the holiday weekend.
I'm angry, upset that we're celebrating these little victories that aren't victories, and we're giving the people a false sense of everything being okay. And I can tell you, in my home, it's not okay because we have COVID here and we're incredibly sick.
Fry says she's been dealing with symptoms of COVID-19 throughout the weekend, including fever, cough, and shortness of breath, but says thankfully she's not nearly as sick as her significant other who tested positive last Thursday.
He now has pneumonia and dehydration, so I'm monitoring his O2 saturation just to make sure he's not hypoxic, and once he gets to that point, I'd bring him back into the hospital and he'd most likely be admitted.
Fry says she's getting another test with her healthcare provider today and hopes the other 348 do too. In Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
The Department of Health says this was the first time this has happened at the state lab, and procedures are being updated to ensure it is the only time. All of the male soccer players at West Fargo Cheyenne had to stay home today after a player tested positive for COVID-19. The school sent an email out to parents last night saying, in part, the impacted student is currently working with contact tracers from FargoCast Public Health and the North Dakota Department of Health to identify any close contacts had during the period they would have been contagious. Officials say based on the results of contact tracing, the team will be able to resume practices and competitions tomorrow. A man is dead and no charges have been filed after a car hit a bicyclist in Grand Forks. Police say Brandon Enderly died today, a week after a car hit him while he was trying to bike across Demers Avenue. The specific cause of death is under review. Police say they're working to determine if it was directly related to the injuries he suffered in the crash. Stick with Valley News Live as we continue to update you on this ongoing investigation. It may not have felt like it this morning, but the weather is starting to change in our favor, slowly. I truly believe that. Let's find out what's in store this evening. Here's Hutch with your first alert forecast.
Andrea, thanks so much. Hi, it was a very chilly start to the day, and in fact, some of you made it down into the mid-20s. Here's a look at some of the colder sites. Hannaford, 25, Enderlin, 26, and not far from us here in Fargo at Enderlin in those mid-20s. Fargo, by the way, tying a record low of 30 set way back in 1898. Here's a look at where we have a frost advisory tonight. Our far southern and southeast counties will have a chance at seeing some of that frost, and some of us also will have a chance at seeing the frost in the rest of the area as well. But we will be milder tonight. Temperatures in the 50s for most to near 60 as we look in on the Home of Economy camera in Devil's Lake tonight. Not a cloud in the sky there. We'll cool quickly. A south breeze will keep us from getting as cold overnight. I expect temperatures near 40 degrees in Fargo by daybreak. Still not a bad idea, though, Andrea, to bring those flowers in or cover the tomatoes. I'll have details on a warming trend that I'm excited to share here in moments.
All right, thanks, Hutch. I'm excited about it, too. A man is facing several charges after allegedly pointing a loaded gun at Fargo police. Authorities say it happened just after 1 this morning. An officer was patrolling near 13th Avenue and South University Drive and saw a vehicle driven by 38-year-old Sean Larkin of Fargo. There's a warrant out for his arrest. When police stopped the vehicle, Larkin started walking away. There was a scuffle, and officers say Larkin pulled out a loaded handgun. Officers wrestled it away from him before anyone was hurt. A man who allegedly set a Minnesota bridge on fire is now charged with arson. 43-year-old Ryan Johnson was arrested over the weekend for reportedly lighting a fire on the Star Lake Bridge in Ottertail County. Investigators say Johnson is in the process of going through a divorce and acting erratic. He allegedly told neighbors he was going to blow up the bridge near his house after someone ran over his dog. Investigators say ammunition, a shotgun, and drugs were found inside his home. Johnson is scheduled to appear in court on September 22nd. Police are reminding drivers that road closed signs mean that the road is closed. This comes after a semi hit a road closed sign and then rolled in Wilkin County, Minnesota. Authorities say the semi hit the sign on Highway 210, then hit the ditch, forcing more of the road to close for much of yesterday. The driver was not hurt. The Sheriff's Department is urging people to use detours when roads are closed. In Moorhead tonight, a family of 6 is displaced after an early morning house fire. Fire crews received the call around 1:45 this morning at 415 Sunrise Circle. That's the neighborhood near Sunset Lanes. The family got out of the home safely but had to spend the night somewhere else because of smoke damage. Crews say this fire was accidental, caused by someone improperly throwing away smoking materials. Top Trump administration health officials took the hot seat before a Senate panel today to defend the government's oversight over the development of a coronavirus vaccine. The president has promised a vaccine would be available by the end of the year, but a recent CBS News poll shows a majority of Americans are skeptical. Natalie Brand has more from Capitol Hill.
1347 and 1350.
The director of the National Institutes of Health and the U.S. Surgeon General assured a Senate panel that politics will not play a role in the development of a coronavirus vaccine.
The rigor of the scientific evaluation of safety and efficacy will not be compromised.
There has been no politicization of the vaccine process.
Under the Trump administration's Operation Warp Speed, 6 vaccine candidates are in rigorous trials, with 3 of them in the 3rd phase.
So you're still confident that you'll see a vaccine sort of before the end of the year?
By the end of the year is the goal, yes.
A recent CBS News poll shows a majority of registered voters think a vaccine that soon would be rushed through.
There will be no shortcuts, and when a vaccine is either approved or authorized by the FDA, I and my family will be in line to get it.
This week, 9 drug manufacturers took the rare step of signing a pledge to ensure they would not seek regulatory approval before trials showed their vaccine is safe.
A trial by AstraZeneca has been paused after one participant suffered an adverse reaction possibly related to the vaccine. The NIH director told lawmakers that's the way the system should work.
This ought to be reassuring to everybody listening. When we say we are going to focus first on safety and make no compromises, here is Exhibit A.
Both experts committed to working to make sure cost would not be an obstacle once a vaccine is available. The Surgeon General also warned that this coming flu season would be the most important of our lifetime and urged Americans to also get a flu shot. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The head of the National Institutes of Health also says he believes it's possible a final coronavirus vaccine could require more than 1 dose to become fully effective. When it comes to public trust, the Surgeon General says he's looking at using celebrities and social media influencers to help get out factual information. Let's take a look now at the COVID-19 numbers. In Minnesota, the Department of Health is reporting 282 confirmed cases along with 7 new deaths. In total, more than 1,800 deaths have been attributed to the disease. More than 75,000 people are listed as recovered. In North Dakota, there are 239 new cases along with 1 more death in the state. The death toll now sits at 157. The active case count is more than 2,200. South Dakota's Sturgis motorcycle rally may have caused more than 250,000 new coronavirus cases. Researchers at IZA Institute of Labor Economics did a study that took into account the prolonged interactions between rally goers at high frequencies with minimal mask wearing and social distancing. Researchers also did what's called a synthetic control approach, estimating the number of cases at more than 266,000, or 19%. Local officials say that 10-day rally attracted more than 400,000 people this year. If you stopped at any Hornbachers today, you may have left with more than just groceries. United Way teamed up with stores throughout the area for their 13th annual Gobble It Up $5 lunch. The event aims to prevent homelessness for local children and families in our communities.
So this event is so important for so many reasons, but we have a big goal to prevent families and children from becoming homeless 90% by 2023. So all of these dollars will be invested to help families right here in our community.
If you want to get involved, you can download our VNL News app. Just ahead on Valley News Live at 5, finding a Nintendo Switch during the pandemic has been difficult at times. What the company is doing to change that.
Take a moment and check out this time lapse captured by our Fargo Valley Skycam. Look at the clouds build in with those cold temperatures and the ebb and flow of those clouds as they evaporated as temperatures warmed today. It does look warmer, but another cool night ahead. Your forecast next.